Happy Friday, Huskers fans with the GoCurrency.com sports ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. We have a jam-packed show for you tonight as we get you prepped for a massive weekend of Huskers athletics. Earlier today, Nebraska cross country competed at the Big Ten Championships in Ann Arbor, Michigan. The Huskers women's team posted a 10th place finish with 273 points, while the Huskers men's team came in 11th in their field with 296 points. Aaliyah Hardy led the way for the women, placing 39th with a time of 21:12, while Bailey Timmons led the men with a run of 24:55.7. Cross country will compete next in the NCAA Midwest Regional on Friday, November 11th in Columbia, Missouri. And sad news today in college football is Vince Dooley, the winningest head coach in Georgia Bulldogs history, a national champion as both a coach and an athletic director, and beloved by many across the country, passed away peacefully this afternoon, surrounded by family at his home in Athens, Georgia. Dooley was 90 years old. We send our condolences to Vince's family and loved ones, as well to the University of Georgia and their fans. In pro sports tonight, the World Series is underway as the Phillies travel to Houston for a 7:03 p.m. first pitch for Game 1. Justin Verlander goes for Houston, while Erynn Nola will take the mound for Philadelphia. In the NBA tonight, two matchups to keep an eye on. The 3-1 Cavs travel to Boston to face the 3-1 Celtics at 6:30. At 9 p.m., it's the 3-1 Pelicans, maybe without Zion Williamson, battling the 3-1 Phoenix Suns in Arizona. And in further NBA news, as negotiations continue on a new collective bargaining agreement between the NBA and the NBA Players Association, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports that the league is pushing to replace the upper spending limit with a hard salary cap, despite firm resistance from the Players Association. The deadline to reach a new CBA is set for December 15th. And in the NHL, two matchups to watch tonight. The defending champion Avalanche are out on the East Coast to square off with the upstart New Jersey Devils. That starts in just a few minutes. And then also at 6, the New York Islanders take on the 4-1-1 Carolina Hurricanes. And in the NFL, Buccaneers star linebacker Shaq Barrett is done for the year after tearing his Achilles against the Ravens on Thursday Night Football. This update is presented by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items like equipment, trucks, and trailers? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Well, under center goes Casey Thompson. Yant the deep back. They turn, give it off to Jock. Left side. Leans. He's in. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Ask and ye shall receive.
After the second attempt, Griesel in transition, leaves his feet, the trailer, and a dunk with a right hand off the feet from Sam Griesel. It's Jawan Gary.
Woo! Jessica Coody serves. Good pass. Huskers quick attack. Kaboom! Kaylin Horde, great connection with Nicklin Hames. It's 11-6. Big Red set one.
That is the best connection I have seen between Nicklin Hames and Caitlin Horde so far this season.
Here's Sam driving, and he stuffs it with a right hand. And there, my friends, is a tremendous hit right there.
Hitting tips. No. Now Nebraska feeds outside. And Maddie full swing down. Kaboom! All the tipping. Until Maddie decided enough of that. This is not a restaurant.
Tip try by Gary. Missed it. Put back up and in, and Gary draws the foul as well. How about Dawson and Gary owning the offensive glass?
The dynamic duo right there. Casey turns, hands it off to Grant, pushes his way near the goal line. Touchdown, Nebraska! And it's a 7-point game.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And good evening. It's a party show Friday. Here we are. Halloween weekend.
Let's go. Party show. And we've gotten packages in the mail.
We have. Spoiler alert, Monday.
Yes. Monday. Maybe we should, I guess we'll have back-to-back party shows because Friday and Monday, because Monday is absolutely going to be a party show. If I can talk you into it.
I think I can do it. Hey, I'm going to duck out on you tonight because I'm headed to my daughter's sorority's parents' weekend, so I'm going to go to a little dinner, so I'm going to be with you for a little bit and then hand it off to you.
Yes.
But you got a lot of stuff heading everybody's way tonight.
A lot of stuff. We got a big weekend with soccer and Big Ten tournament starting up. Big matchup with Ohio State on Sunday, so we're going to have Sarah Weber in. She's just named to the all-conference team. Women's basketball has their first exhibition game. It's going to be a fun day on Sunday, so we're going to talk to Anni Stewart. Plus, hey, me, the Scarlets are such a big part, and the cheer squad, the cheer team. They do a lot around here and are a big part of game day and all that. So we're going to have Erynn Butzke, who is the head coach of the Spirit Squads, in and talk a little bit to her about what goes into all of that. So, yeah, we got a jam-packed show.
And Erin's a former member of the Scarlets.
Yes,
right?
she is, yeah.
So this is back at her alma mater doing that. We'll look forward to that. So busy show headed your way tonight. Huskers back on the field tomorrow after the bye week last week. Here comes 17th ranked Illinois. They are a touchdown favorite. I'm really anxious for this game. I think Nebraska is going to be able to do some things that Illinois hasn't seen this year. One guy that I'm really excited to see how much he's used tomorrow is Tommy Hill. They've kind of been teasing Tommy Hill. We saw him a little bit at Purdue. I think he might have a bigger role tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so too, because I think it was in the works, and I told you that in a commercial break. I said, there's something going on with Tommy. Like, it seemed like there was a play that they were talking about maybe doing with Tommy, and but then he was limping a little bit, so I'm not sure what he tweaked on one of the kickoff returns.
He didn't do the last one,
and then he didn't come back in. So hopefully he was one of those guys that were banged up coming out of Purdue. Hopefully he's back healthy and adds a wrinkle. That's what's kind of crazy a little bit, and I've talked about this throughout this weekend with Jeremiah, is that Illinois is going to do what Illinois does, right? It's not like you're going to see many wrinkles from them, but Nebraska has the capability to throw out some wrinkles with the different pieces and weapons that they have within this offense that haven't been seen yet. So it's going to be fascinating to see the chess match between these two teams, both coming off bye weeks and both how they try to approach this game. But I do think that, I mean, look how good Nebraska was coming off the last bye week, going into the game against Indiana. So, yeah, I think it's going to be fun to see what chess moves each of these teams make and coaching staffs make.
And there's something to play for. Nebraska, if they could win tomorrow, they're back in a tie for first.
Everything's on the table, and this team is well aware of that. While they take it 1 week at a time, they absolutely know that everything is still on the table. A bowl game is still on the table. Playing for a Big Ten title is still on the table. And so, yeah, they're not by any means, they haven't checked it in. They know that this is a lot of opportunity is still on the horizon, and it starts right now against Illinois.
And Illinois is not used to this. They're not used to being 6-1 and ranked and in first place in the division. This is rarefied air for them. So you got to kind of wonder where they are a little bit. They may go, wait a minute. Wait, we could do this. And so
and they haven't really been tested.
They have not.
They went to Indiana the second week of the season, but you know, Iowa is Iowa. I'm sorry, but like, they're not very good. They haven't played very many. They have not played an offense like Nebraska.
No.
They have not seen a wide receiver like, I don't think, like Trey Palmer and Vokalek, and the cast of characters that Nebraska has. Illinois hasn't seen that.
Right.
And so that's where, you know, yes, they have the #1 defense statistically coming in, but we'll see how good that defense is. And I also think, too, that, yes, Chase Brown is a nightmare, and you got to get him down to the ground. But I also think this defense found some confidence playing those 2 weeks, Indiana, Rutgers. And you know what? They were never really down at times in the Purdue game. The way they came out of half, I like the way they came out of half. You get Luke Reimer back. Hopefully that adds, you know, some help there inside, and giving guys 2 weeks to be prepared for this one. I'm not, I know a lot of people are down and out on this defense, but I am not. I think we've seen some flashes of some good things. Let's just put it all together.
Illinois, and we may have some Illinois fans listening to us tonight. Hey, you win at Camp Randall the way you beat up Wisconsin. That was impressive. It was. You got a coach fired. I mean, that's what they did there. That's, to me, the most impressive thing they've done all year. Obviously, they caught Wisconsin where they weren't where they needed to be, and that's obviously why they've made the change there. So I respect Illinois, but I also don't think that this is a team that's used to playing huge games this late in the season, and so they'll maybe be a little tight coming in here tomorrow.
I respect Illinois, too. It's hard to hold teams for halfway through the season under 9 points.
Exactly.
That is very, very impressive.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for the people that think that this is not a winnable game for Nebraska, think otherwise. That's my stance, is that I think this is absolutely a game that Nebraska can win and believes that they can win.
And that's a big part of it, and that's Mickey Joseph. That's Mickey telling these guys, come on, you're better. And Mark Whipple was even really kind of sounding that alarm a few weeks ago. He's like, it's frustrating that my expectations of the guys is higher than their own, that I think they can do some of these things, and they don't believe it themselves. And I think one of the things Mickey liked Jessica, was he liked how much hurt he saw in their eyes after the Purdue game. He said, you know, coming out of the Northwestern game, I heard a lot of people giggling on the plane. It was like, no big deal, we lose. He said the Purdue game hurt, and he goes, I want it to hurt when they lose.
Yeah, I mean, and look no further than Trey Palmer, Casey Thompson, O'Shawn Mathis. Those were three of the guys that I interviewed, and they were hurting it. Trey Palmer especially, that was a guy that just broke a school record, had an incredible game, and he was just so upset, so distraught, was so mad, so upset that he couldn't help this team win, that he didn't do enough to help this team win. He wants so badly for this team to win, and I think that's part of it too, are some of these transfer guys that are absolutely believe. There were times last year, my first year here, that some of the close losses felt like wins, you know?
Yeah.
And that's not what you want, right? And so at some point that has got to flip, where you've got to start being upset about losing these close games, and I think this team feels that way now. You know, the Ohio State game was one that you were walking around and it was kind of almost a moral victory, and I think this team no longer wants moral victories.
Right. Well, when you go out to watch warm-ups tomorrow, I'll be anxious to see what that offensive line looks like. Who's where? Is Bando back? Is he even in uniform? I don't think Kevin Williams is close enough to play. Maybe he'll surprise us and be out there tomorrow, but what does that lineup look like? And what's the inside linebacker position? Was Kolarvik going to start? Well, maybe Ernest gets a starting job tomorrow. I don't know.
I think it's going to be Chris Kolarvik, but I think it's, as we heard Bill Bush say, and this is what it was at Purdue, it's going to be by committee. And I think all of those guys are going to get opportunities, and they're going to need them because, again, Illinois is a team that wants to dominate the time of possession. They run the ball. It's going to be a physical football game, so I think they're going to need a lot of bodies, so everybody's got to step up to the plate tomorrow.
Their last game was Minnesota, and I was digging through this week. They had scoring drives of 12 plays, 15 plays.
Yeah.
And they chew up a lot. And they did it against us last year in the second half. That opening drive in the third quarter in Champaign, they took about 7 minutes off the clock, scored a touchdown, and all of a sudden we're down double digits.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be by committee in a lot of different places. I think you're going to see a lot of different guys running out there to stay fresh, to maintain the physicality. Because here's the thing, as much as I know fans want the offense to slow down, I don't think they're going to slow down that much. They might try a little bit of here or there, but I think this offense is going to do what this offense does. And a lot of times that is score fast, right? I mean, it's just that's how this offense is built, and that's what their strengths are, is to throw down the field. And so if that's the case, the defense is going to be out on the field. And so if you give Illinois the chance to maintain the clock and dominate the clock, you're going to need to have a lot of bodies out there, a lot of depth that can come in and spell guys when they need it, and to stay fresh. And it's going to be a physical football game.
Folks, buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. You and I have not talked since Wednesday's program, and we led into that monster matchup in Madison on Wednesday night. Number 1, Nebraska, number 5, Wisconsin. And the hex continues. The drought against the Badgers. It's now 9 straight wins for Wisconsin. And I'm convinced, and hey, I'm not JB or Coach Cook, I'm convinced we're the better team this year, but we sure didn't look like that the other night. I didn't recognize this, Jessica, at times. I just felt like our team was really not all there, and maybe it's a mental block. I don't know, but boy, it was an interesting match because we didn't look like we've looked the last month.
Yeah, they looked a little, I mean, I thought the energy was a little off. It just did not seem like it just is a little hazy almost. I don't know how to explain it, but it just, and then you give Wisconsin some confidence, and then they were fired up, have had a lot of adversity around this program right now, and hadn't beaten a number 1 team since, 1998?
Something like that.
And so
hadn't swept the number 1 team since.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think there was a lot on the line, and it's one of those things you got to come out fast, and especially on a opposing team's court in their home, and you got to kind of take their confidence away early. And I think Nebraska did the opposite and gave them a little confidence, and then it was just got a little out of hand. But you and I were texting during it, and we thought after that second set, the way Nebraska got back into it, because that's a big deficit to overcome.
Huge.
And so, Nebraska's got the momentum now, that we thought that they'll come back out and win the next one, and it's just not how they came out.
was almost a deflating loss because they came all the way and then couldn't finish it off. The size of Wisconsin really bothered Nebraska. It's a big, big front line. 6'8", 6'7" girls up front. It's hard to hit over the top of that, and I think it frustrated Whitney. I thought Maddie was off her game on the other night. A little surprised they didn't get Maggie Mendelson in there just to get more size. The one player that I thought was not intimidated at all was Becca. I thought Becca attacked hard in that game.
Yeah, she did. She's going to be fun to watch and continue to watch. But it's crazy going back to that. Remember, we were talking about this last year about Wisconsin's volleyball team. The basketball team didn't have anybody over like 6'3" or 6'2".
Right.
I think they were. And then almost all the volleyball team was taller than all of the basketball team.
Yeah, their size is impressive. The length of that team is really, really impressive. So bounce back time for that team. They play tomorrow night. Remember, folks, if you have your tickets, they did push the first serve back a half an hour because of the football game being at 2:30. It's 7:30 tomorrow at the Devaney Center against Maryland, who did take a set from the Huskers when the Huskers were back east earlier in the season. So 7:30 tomorrow night, Huskers against Maryland. I got to think they bounce back. There might be a little bit of a hangover effect from the loss, but I think they'll bounce back tomorrow night.
I think they will. I think they'll be... There's too good... I know it's a young team, but there's too good of leadership for them to just sit back and let this beat them twice. You cannot let losses beat you twice, right? And so I think players like Nicklin Hames, Maddie Kubik will get this team... get the ship righted, and they'll get back rolling again.
So 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 first serve tomorrow night here on some of these Husker Sports Network stations. Our football postgame show obviously will be going on at that very same time. Speaking of football, time for our How Will the Weather Affect the Game? It is going to be beautiful tomorrow. They are saying maybe 70 degrees for the high tomorrow. It will cool off a little bit, and a lot of sun, a lot of shade will be in the second half of the game, but it is going to be perfect for a game here in late October, and very light winds tomorrow as well. So it should be absolutely perfect for the Huskers game with the Fighting Illini. The weather report brought to you by SOS Heating and Cooling. With fair prices, honest opinions, and longer warranties, they are the Omaha area's trustworthy company since 1950. We're back with our pick segment. How did everybody do last week? And what about this week's games? We're going to get into that next.
Do you want your date to wait for your interlock device to let you drive? Your kids to ask why you have an ankle bracelet? Or your boss to see your criminal history? Do you want to miss important life events because of house arrest? Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
It's time again for some Nebraska farm facts. For Nebraska soybean farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices. And they have significant sustainability goals by 2025. 10% more energy efficiency, 10% less land, and 25% less soil erosion. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Both farmers and Division I athletes are alike in that every season presents a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative does what they always do, which is lean into every new opportunity. They focus on their roots and continue to stay tougher together with their farmer owners. These core beliefs are much like those of committed Husker athletes. Aurora Cooperative leans on their values of a strong work ethic to get any job done for their producers. Aurora Cooperative, tougher together. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at huskers.com/touchdownsforteachers.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. Husker students on the debate team and Bateman competition public relations team earned national championships this past year, marking a first for each program. The debate team claimed victory with one of the youngest teams in the country, while the Bateman competition public relations team won their championship by building a PR campaign for the Lymphoma Research Foundation.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Your Nebraska soccer team is hosting the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament this Sunday, October 30th. The Huskers welcome the Ohio State Buckeyes to Lincoln for the biggest game of the season. Go to Huskers.com/tickets now. Plus, hot dogs and popcorn are both only $2 for Sunday's game only. Bring the whole family and cheer on your Huskers as they contend for the Big Ten title. Save money by getting your tickets online at Huskers.com/tickets rather than at the ticket window. See you at Hibner Stadium this Sunday at noon.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, Nebraska football takes on Illinois. Huskers game day is live at 10:30 a.m. with Ben McLaughlin and Damon Benning. At 12:30, Greg Sharpe hosts Countdown to Kickoff, followed by the Mickey Joseph pregame show. At 2:30 kickoff, Greg, Damon, and Jessica Coody bring you every angle of every play as the Huskers battle the Fighting Illini. After the game, Bill Dolman and Damon host the 5th quarter show. Then Greg will talk to Mickey Joseph, and Jessica will speak with Huskers players before Matt Coatney and Jay Foreman talk to you on Big Red Reaction. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. It is a Friday night, time for our Big Ten game predictions, presented by Choices Treatment Center, helping people make positive choices. Well, let's review a little bit, as we like to do each week. How did we do last week in the games? Well, we all really did okay last week.
Some of us did better than others.
Better than others. Okay. Ohio State, Iowa, it was not a contest. We all went Buckeyes, so 5-0. We all picked that game right. Indiana, Rutgers, we were split on this one. You and I and Molly took the Scarlet Knights. Andrew and Tim both went with Indiana. Fairly competitive game, but Rutgers gets it done at home.
Yes, I was worried about that one for a while because what Indiana got
14-0.
up. Yeah, pretty big, and I was like, uh-oh, but pulled out the win, Greg.
Wisconsin, Purdue. Boy, you, Andrew, Tim, Molly, you guys were sold on Purdue. I was not. I was the black sheep here. I go Badgers. Badgers get a win.
I just thought, I just didn't know which Purdue team was going to show up. So, and it was not.
And which Wisconsin, right?
Yes.
Wisconsin's been
both those teams have just been so kind of inconsistent.
Yeah.
And which one was going to show up? Well, the good Wisconsin team showed up, and the bad Purdue team showed up.
They sure did. O'Connell threw a couple of picks.
Yeah.
Just was off
He
his
had a
game.
major letdown from what he looked like against Nebraska.
Sure did. Northwestern at Maryland. Maryland was struggling in this game. They had the Cats, I thought, might go pull off a road win. Maryland ended up rallying and winning. We all 5 took the Terps, so yay team on that one. Penn State, Minnesota. Again, a bit of a slow start for the Nittany Lions, but they put away Minnesota playing without Tanner Morgan, who's concussed, and he may not play again tomorrow as well. All 5 of us took the Nittany Lions, so another yay team on that. We all picked Clemson, but boy, did Syracuse nearly pull off an upset. They were right in that game to the very end.
They were. And then Clemson benches DJ, who Andrew had called for, and they end up winning. And, yeah, that was a wild game.
DJ Doo-Doo, is that what you guys have now?
That's what I called him, yeah. I wasn't going to go there, Greg. You went there.
It's a party show. We got to do that, right, on a Friday night. So, but Clemson does survive. We all went with the Tigers, so we all got that one right. UCLA at Oregon. Andrew, Tim, they were on the Bruin bandwagon. You and Molly and I were not, and Oregon
looked good.
They handled them pretty easily.
Yeah, Oregon looks good. That is not the same team that got beat so badly by Georgia.
Good one in the Big 12 last week. Texas, Oklahoma State, slugfest, back and forth, back and forth. You and I went pistols up. Andrew, Tim, Molly had UT. Cowboys survive.
Pistols firing.
Pistols were firing.
Go Pokes.
So the Pokes win that one. Spoiler alert, they're coming up in a pick here in just a moment in our games. Still in the Big 12, Texas Christian, K-State battle for first in the Big 12. The Wildcats got to a huge lead in the game, up 28-10. But quarterback issues, injuries to Adrian Martinez, then Will Howard, their backup. TCU rallies and stays undefeated. All of us got it right, but boy, for a large chunk of the night, it looked like K-State was going to win.
TCU's like the cardiac kids this year. They just fight back, and they're never out of a football game. That's a pretty solid football team. They got to be in the driver's seat. I know they are record-wise because they beat Oklahoma State, but they got to have a lot of confidence to win that Big 12.
Aren't they in the playoff talk?
You got to keep them there at this point.
They've won like 4 straight over ranked teams.
Yeah, I think here's what would probably get them in is if they stay unbeaten and then beat another solid team in the Big 12 championship. Because if they beat Oklahoma State twice, it would be hard to leave them out.
I think so too. All right, Ole Miss at LSU. Ole Miss at one point led 17-3, but LSU rallies and ends up kind of running away from Ole Miss. I took Ole Miss, so did Tim and Molly. You and Andrew rode it home with LSU.
Yeah, we did. You were doubting me because it was at 2:30, but I just didn't think Ole Miss had played anybody good on the road, and Jackson Dart got banged up, and then LSU got hot and pulled it out.
And our last pick, Cincinnati at SMU. We all went Cincinnati. Bearcats win by 2. In fact, they had to stop a 2-point conversion inside the last 2 minutes to hang on to their 2-point lead, but they get it done, and so we all got that one right. We had 2 of us, you and I, 10-1. How about that?
Love it. Love to hear it.
Molly went 8-3, so Molly was next in line. Andrew 7-4, and Tim 6-5.
Womp womp.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it was a tough one. All right, so the totals after last week. Jessica has stretched her lead to 4 over Andrew, 5 over me, 6 over Molly, and you're up 9 on Tim. Tim,
yikes.
You need a good week.
Yikes.
All right, let's get into the picks this week. Big matchup in Happy Valley this week. Ohio State on the road at Penn State. First really big road test, Jessica, for the Buckeyes. They are a double-digit favorite. What do you think on this one?
I'm going to go with Ohio State. Boy, they're just a better football team, and I know on the road at Penn State, but I can't pick against the Buckeyes.
Tim?
Yeah, I learned my lesson getting cute with Penn State and a major upset. So, no, I'm going Buckeyes here. I think they're just too good.
Hey, that place is tough to play. This will be a battle. This will be a game into the fourth quarter, but I'm with you guys. I go with Ohio State. So does Andrew and Molly. So all 5 of us in the Buckeyes category. Tim, I'm coming to you next. Rutgers, after that victory last week, they're 4-3. They play another 4-3 team in the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. Who do you like in this one?
You know, I thought about it. I thought about getting cute here with Rutgers. I thought about, they they proved me wrong last week. I was not a fan of them going into their matchup last week, and they played well and they got it done. But I'm going to stick with Minnesota here. I know Tanner Morgan's potentially not playing in this one, but I think at home I like Minnesota. I think that run game is going to test that Rutgers defense, and I'm going to give Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't expect Tanner Morgan to play, but I think with Ibrahim and some of the other weapons they have, they play great defense to the Gophers. That'll be enough that they'll win even without Tanner Morgan.
I'm with you. Yep. I don't think it's that. Rutgers doesn't score a bunch of points, obviously, but so I'm with you. I got Minnesota.
Okay, all five of us, Andrew and Molly, also with the Gophers. Boy, this will be a slugfest tomorrow. Northwestern and Iowa. This will be the first 1 to 10 wins, maybe. Actually, Northwestern actually has kind of found a little bit of rhythm offensively. They have had a lot of success in Iowa City. But that defense for Iowa is so good, and Iowa's got to have a little bit of something going on. I like the Hawkeyes. I think it's a field goal game, but give me the Hawkeyes.
3-0 win?
Maybe.
I got Iowa, too. I can't trust Northwestern to pick them anymore, so I'm going with Iowa.
Tim?
Yeah, no surprises from me here. I think the defense in Iowa is still good, and I think they're going to be able to limit Northwestern enough to win that game.
All five of us go with the Hawkeyes. Man, they're not happy. Their fans are not happy with what's going on with that offense. All right.
Would you be?
No, not at all. The battle for Paul Bunyan's axe tomorrow is Michigan State at Michigan. Sparty has really owned Jim Harbaugh since he's been there. That was a blemish last year. They took him down. What about it, Jessica? Michigan or Michigan State?
I'm going with Michigan. I think they get revenge for last year, because last year, boy, it dang near spoiled Michigan's hopes of getting into the college football playoff. So that was a big time. That was a drama-filled game last year. I'm going to go with Michigan. I think they get revenge and bounce back.
Tim?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. I think you added the revenge factor there, but I just, it's similar to Ohio State. I have a hard time picking against Michigan this year. They look so good right now, so I'm sticking with the Wolverines.
Yeah, they're 22-point favorite. I know it's a rivalry game, but Sparty's a mess right now. They've got a lot of issues. Well, all five of us go with Michigan.
I'm surprised Andrew didn't go with Michigan State.
Well, yeah, he's kind of been on that bandwagon with those guys. All right, let's get out of conference now. Notre Dame at Syracuse. We talked about Syracuse, Tim, right down to the wire with Clemson. Now they come back home to take on the Irish, who've won 4 straight in this series.
Yeah, and maybe it's Jeremiah hating Notre Dame that's rubbed off on me, and maybe it's me just not giving enough credit to Syracuse from my days going to college up in that neck of the woods. But they showed me something against Clemson. Syracuse did, and I think that they're going to use that loss. I think they're going to use it as fuel, and I think they're going to pull this one off. I think they've played a tougher schedule, to be honest with you, than Notre Dame has, and I just think that, you know what, I think Syracuse is the real deal. I'm going to give them credit, and of course we'll see if this jinxes them. But I'm going with the Orange on this one.
The Orange only favored by 1.5 at home. I'm nervous about this one. I'll go with Syracuse. I think they're the more well-rounded team. Will not be surprised at all if the Irish pull it off.
I think they're pretty banged up, though. I think they got beat up a little bit. So, you know what? I'm going to go against the grain on this one. I'm going to go with Notre Dame.
Yeah, not a bad pick. I really could see that happening. All right, let's go to the Big 12. Oklahoma State, K-State. Chris Kleiman, one of the teams that he's really struggled with in his first 3 years at K-State is Oklahoma State. He's 0-3 against the Cowboys. With the uncertainty at the quarterback position for the Wildcats, I'm going to go with a hot team. I'm going Oklahoma State in this one.
Hey, I'm sticking on that Go Pokes train. I've picked them all year. They won last week, and I think that's a good football team. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma State, and kind of uncertainty of what's going on with Adrian Martinez quarterback situation. So I'm going to go with Oklahoma State.
Yeah, you guys said it. I've picked enough against Oklahoma State this year, and they've made me look bad enough. So I'm going to roll with them. I'm rolling with the Cowboys.
All right, we'll go to the ACC next. Pitt at North Carolina, Jessica. The Tar Heels are 7-3 against Pitt in the last 10. How about this one? This will be a tight game.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to go with the home team on this one. North Carolina can throw the ball around the yard. I know their defense might have been a little suspect, but I think I'm going to go with the home team in a close one. So give me North Carolina.
Tim?
You know what? Maybe it's because I'm just biased to Kenny Pickett as a Steelers fan, but I just don't buy Slovis there in Pittsburgh. I've watched him. I haven't been all that impressed with him. I follow quite a few Pittsburgh beat writers for my pro sports news, but the impression in Pittsburgh is not very good right now on offense in particular. And I think North Carolina, like Jess said, they can throw it, they can move the ball, and I think they're going to get this one done.
Okay, I'm going Carolina in this one. So all three of us are in agreement. Andrew and Molly, though, taking the Panthers.
Wow.
So we're
okay.
split.
There we go.
In this one.
I think Andrew's incapable of picking North Carolina.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's the Dookie in him.
Yeah, he just didn't want to pick the Tar Heels. Yeah.
Back to the SEC, Ole Miss at A&M. Tim, you're leading us off on this one.
This one I went back and forth on. I'm going to go with Ole Miss. I've picked them a lot, and they've actually been one of the teams that I've been consistently getting some points back from. So I like their offense. I've said that all year. It's a good matchup. Texas A&M, they had a slow start to the year, so I'm going to lean towards Ole Miss. I'm feeling good about them.
Back-to-back road games scare me. I think A&M's due to kind of put a stop on this season. Give me the Aggies to hang on at home tomorrow.
I'm with you. And, because you want to talk about a team that's really good at home, and they haven't been home since, like, September 17th.
Right.
So it is going to be – and that
Rocking.
stadium actually literally rocks when it gets going. And so I think that place is going to be wild. They're going to be glad to have the Aggies back home. So give me Texas A&M at home.
You and I and Andrew all agree. Tim and Molly go Ole Miss. So we'll see how that one plays out. Kentucky at Tennessee. Volunteers just look so good.
Yeah, they do.
Steamrolled an FCS team last week. I love the Vols.
This could be one of – you think at times, like just in this day and age, that everyone kind of slips up at some point. This could be it, but I'm not going to pick against Tennessee. They've looked too good.
Yeah, I think I said it 2 weeks ago when they beat Alabama. I said I think Tennessee feels like a darling team this year. They've beaten quite a few ranked teams, and like you said, they just look too good right now. Everybody's clicking. That passing game in particular looks so good. And at home, I got to go Rocky Top here.
All five of us go with Tennessee. All right, Jessica, Wake Forest at Louisville. This is a tight spread. It's a 1 or 2 point game. Wake Forest, so still trying to protect that top 10 ranking they've got.
I'm going to go with Wake Forest. I've said it all along. I like their quarterback. I think Louisville is a little bit down this year, but I'm going to go with Wake Forest.
Tim?
Yeah, I've wanted to pick Wake Forest when we've had them before, and I've picked against them. Hartman, that kid is got a lot of heart, and the QB factor, like Jess said, and I just like what Wake Forest has been able to do this year in maintaining that kind of top 10 status, and I'm going with Wake Forest on this.
I'm a big Sam Hartman fan. I love Wake. In fact, all five of us go with Wake in this game. And to wrap it up, Cincinnati at UCF. UCF, a home team and a favorite to beat the Bearcats. I'm not with that. Give me Cincinnati in this game.
Why? I'm with Cincinnati, too. I don't even know why that would be a favorite to me, to be honest. Cincinnati, I know they might have struggled a little bit, but that's a team that's got some talent. So give me Cincinnati. And coming off a bye, right?
They beat SMU by 2 last week.
Oh, yeah. Duh. Okay, yeah. That was one of the ones that we picked that one,
we
right?
Did.
Yep.
Tim?
I'm going to go Cincinnati here. I can see why there's a lot of people, and I think ESPN's metrics are saying that this is a 60% chance for Central Florida in this one, but I think Cincinnati's going to contain a very good Central Florida run game. I don't like Central Florida's strength of schedule. The only thing that people, I think, make a valid point on is that Central Florida destroyed SMU, whereas, Greg, like you said, Cincinnati got out of there lucky to take away that win. But I'm going to go with the Bearcats. I just feel like they're a better team, and again, quality of opponents have been better for Cincy.
All right, all five of us, Andrew and Molly, also with Cincinnati. Hey, if you or someone you love has a gambling problem, call Choices Treatment Center at 402-476-2300 or the Nebraska Gamblers Assistance Program at 1-833-238-6837. Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. They've got 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you are looking for with Woodhouse. More of the show coming up next.
Experience the difference at Woodhouse Buick GMC. From the GMC Acadia to the Buick Encore, we're sure to have a vehicle that fits your lifestyle. Our climate-controlled showroom guarantees a comfortable shopping experience every time you visit. Plus, our commitment to our customers continues well beyond the date of purchase. You will leave our lot feeling comfortable and confident in your new vehicle. Start your car buying journey today, in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker pride, powered locally.
Vandermill in the paint, kicks it to Lawrence. He'll shoot the three. Looks good. Got it! 3-ball. Jamarcus Lawrence, another CBA three-pointer.
And a really good find off the offensive rebound, and that's what Jamarcus Lawrence can bring to this team.
Sunday, Husker Hoops is back. Women's basketball takes the airways at 12:45 with Jeff Greesh and Matt Coatney. Pre-game coverage for the men's basketball team starts with Kent Pavelka and Jake Milheisen at 4 p.m. as they play Colorado. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. For the 5th straight year, the University of Nebraska system is a top 100 patent-earning institution. NU system researchers were granted 43 patents in 2021, with UNL researchers named as inventors on 25 of these patents. Husker patents include 3 projects with partners at the University of Nebraska Medical Center and 6 patents for a surgical robot developed by faculty in the College of Engineering.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. Beardmore Subaru celebrates Nebraska volleyball again this season. 5 national championships, 47 All-Americans, and a home sellout streak dating back to 2001. The longest streak for any women's sport in NCAA history. Beardmore Subaru has been a proud supporter of Husker volleyball for more than 10 years. Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the new Subaru Outback Wilderness, loaded with off-road ready upgrades, and the new Solterra, Subaru's first ever all-electric and all-wheel drive vehicle. Go Big Red.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody. Greg Sharpe out the rest of the evening. He's got a function with his daughter, so I'll be driving the ship the rest of the way out, but we still got a fun second hour coming up for you, so you want to stick around for that. Did want to give a quick shout out to our weekly winner of our YouTube chatters, who also play along with our weekly picks. Joseph, the winner for this week, he went 9-2, so not quite as good as Greg and me, so you guys better pick it up there in the chat. But shout out Joseph for being our weekly winner there on those picks. All right, now let's take a look at what's on tap, presented by Bud Light. It is busy times here in Lincoln. It's crossover season. I love the month of November when you got football and basketball going on and volleyball, so we have a busy weekend coming up. Volleyball, we've talked a lot about that. Hosting Maryland, looking to bounce back. 7:30 here inside Devaney. 7 o'clock pregame with JB and Lauren. And then men's basketball back in exhibition play. Again, they'll hit the road this week at Colorado on Sunday. 5 o'clock tip there, but 4 o'clock on the pregame show with Kent and Jake. And then women's basketball, their exhibition game, they'll hit the court for the first time inside PBA and this season. Sunday, 1 o'clock against Washburn. 12:45 pregame for that one with Jeff Greesh and Matt Coatney. So that's, again, busy weekend. And oh, by the way, how about soccer in the postseason action? Noon on Sunday against Ohio State. We're going to talk a lot more about that coming up here in hour number 2. So busy weekend. Get out, support however you can. I know a lot of fans are excited to get basketball season underway and then to go support soccer in the postseason. So should be a fun weekend. All right, we went a little long in those first 2 segments, so we got to work in another break here. But buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. And one more thing, visit a participating AGCO dealer between now and November 4th and enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Nebraska-Wisconsin football game in Lincoln on November 19th, plus a pregame tailgate. See participating AGCO locations across Nebraska and you can win this season. All right, back to wrap up hour number 1 right after this.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Robseco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Robseco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Final segment here of hour number one. I'm Jessica Coody. We got a text on our text line from Mark. Does anyone know the story with what happened down at Ole Miss with Caleb Banworth? Sounds like it was something off court, but who knows? I don't know. The announcement came today that is officially she is no longer the coach. They have mutually parted ways, and this was coming a week after she was placed on leave, and the program was placed under administrative review. So the assistant coach taking over there, but I haven't seen anything, haven't heard anything of why and what happened and why this all unfolded the way that it did, but officially coming out today that they have mutually parted ways. So that is all the reports coming out of Oxford, Mississippi there. So that was Mark shooting us a text on our Woodhouse Auto Family Hotline, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Tim, did that get brought up the other night on the on Coach Cook show?
Oh, it was not when I was in. I was not here for the last one.
Oh, yeah,
That was my
you
day
weren't
up.
here this week.
Well, it was interesting because I was here last week when that first report came out that it was under review. And so didn't know much there. I don't think Coach Cook knew anything about that either. So it's just kind of came out of nowhere. So hopefully everything lands all right with Kayla and obviously someone who's got ties to the Huskers. So just kind of crazy to see that.
Yeah, so not sure, and usually this day and age, of course, rumor mill and flying out, but there hasn't been anything that I've seen substantial of why the decision came, because, she had turned around the program. They were not in a good place when she took it over. So I don't know if that information will come out. The only thing I know is officially that the university announcing that they have parted ways. So, yeah, that's all we got on that. And then what was the other text we had over there? Do you think if the Huskers win, will the goalpost come down? That one's from Art in Los Angeles. No, I don't think that's possible because they're anchored down, right, Tim? So, and I think they've made that where that's not possible. They'll lower them down, and I don't even think it will be a field rushing day either with this win. Not a big enough win for that. So I don't know. I think Husker fans, we got into this discussion last year. Forgot, was it Ohio State, right?
I think so, yes.
And it was like we were talking with a lot of people. Were telling their field rushing stories and the goalposts that were being carried throughout downtown, and people were at a wedding and saw it marching through downtown. But I don't think tomorrow is that day with a win. It would be an absolutely huge win and big for Mickey Joseph and this program, but I don't think it's one where the fans will take the field for this one. But hey, it will definitely be celebrated, and it will be a big party with a win.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, good. I hope Mickey can go into Halloween with that treat in the bag there, because that would be special. But yeah, I agree. I don't think it's quite field storm worthy. And I think Greg said it last year. They've added a lot of extra anchors to those goalposts after they were torn down a lot. So.
Yeah, and there's a fence on the field that kind of it makes it pretty challenging for fans to get out there. But you mentioned it, Halloween weekend. There's going to be lots of costumes, and it will be wild down in the Haymarket, O Street, all those places with a win. All right, we are going to get in our final break here, but hour number 2 up next. We got a big hour number 2 coming up next for you, so keep it right here on Sports Nightly and buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Huskers fans, tomorrow, Nebraska football takes on Illinois. Huskers game day is live at 10:30 a.m. with Ben McLaughlin and Damon Benning. At 12:30, Greg Sharpe hosts Countdown to Kickoff, followed by the Mickey Joseph pregame show. At 2:30 kickoff, Greg, Damon, and Jessica Coody bring you every angle of every play as the Huskers battle the Fighting Illini. After the game, Bill Dolman and Damon host the fifth quarter show. Then Greg will talk to Mickey Joseph, and Jessica will speak with Huskers players before Matt Coatney and Jay Foreman talk to you on Big Red Reaction. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
And welcome into the Acres Broadcast Center with the Go Currency Sports Ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. Happy Friday, Huskers fans, and welcome into another hour of Sports Nightly. We have a jam-packed hour ahead for you as we are prepping for a massive weekend of Huskers athletics. Earlier today, Nebraska cross country competed at the Big Ten Championships in Ann Arbor. Michigan and the Huskers women's team posted a 10th place finish with 273 points, while the Huskers men's team came in 11th in their field with 296 points. Aaliyah Hardy led the way for the women, placing 39th with a time of 21:12, while Bailey Timmons led the men with a run of 24:55.7. Cross country will compete in the NCAA Midwest Regional on Friday, November 11th in Columbia, Missouri. And sad news in college football today is Vince Dooley, the winningest head coach in Georgia Bulldogs history, a national champion, both as a coach and an athletic director, and beloved by many across the country, passed away peacefully this afternoon, surrounded by family at his home in Athens, Georgia. Dooley was 90 years old. We send our condolences to Vince's family and loved ones, as well the University of Georgia and their fans. In pro sports tonight, the World Series is just underway. Game 1, no score. Obviously, that first pitch just occurred as the Phillies are in Houston to take on the Astros. Justin Verlander on the mound for the Astros, while Erynn takes the bump for the Phillies. In the NBA tonight, the 3-1 Cavs currently beating up on the Celtics. Actually, the Celtics have made that one closer. It's now 29-23 late in the first quarter. At 9 p.m., it's the 3-1 Pelicans without Zion Williamson, perhaps, battling the 3-1 Phoenix Suns in Arizona. In the NHL, 2 matchups to watch. The defending champion Avalanche are out on the East Coast squaring off with the New Jersey Devils. That game is scoreless after one period. And also, at the end of one, the New York Islanders lead the Carolina Hurricanes 1-0. And in the NFL, Buccaneers star linebacker Shaq Barrett is done for the season after tearing his Achilles against the Ravens last night during Thursday Night Football. This update is presented by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for heavy machinery, ag equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Well, under center goes Casey Thompson. Yant the deep back. They turn, give it off to Jock, left side. Leans, he's in. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Ask and ye shall receive. After the second attempt, Griesel in transition, leaves his feet the trailer, and a dunk with a right hand off the feet from Sam Griesel. It's Jawan Gary.
Woo! Jessica Coody serves. Good pass. Huskers quick attack. Kaboom! Kaylin Horde, great connection with Nicklin Hames. It's 11-6. Big Red set one.
That is the best connection I have seen between Nicklin Hames and Caitlin Horde so far this season.
Here's Sam driving, and he stuffs it with a right hand. And there, my friends, is a tremendous hit right there.
Hinton tips. No. Now Nebraska feeds outside. And Maddie full swing down. Kaboom! All the tipping. Until Maddie decided enough of that. This is not a restaurant.
Tip try by Gary. Missed it. Put back up and in, and Gary draws the foul as well. How about Dawson and Gary owning the offensive glass?
The dynamic duo right there. Casey turns, hands it off to Grant, pushes his way near the goal line. Touchdown, Nebraska! And it's a 7-point game.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Hour number 2 here of Sports Nightly. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday of a busy weekend of Husker sports coming up. I'm Jessica Coody, and going to be with you solo here with Tim. Tim's running the ship back there for us. For the rest of the hour, Greg is out this hour with a function with his daughter, so we got lots coming up for you, though. It's going to be fun hour. We're going to talk some Husker softball. Postseason going to be underway on Sunday. They played their way into hosting the Big Ten tournament, the first round of the Big Ten tournament. They'll have Ohio State at noon on Sunday. We're going to talk with Sarah Weber, who was just named to the Big Ten All-Conference team, the sophomore out of Gretna, Nebraska. She's impressive. You're going to want to hear that conversation. And we're also going to talk some women's hoops as their season gets underway with an exhibition contest on Sunday. So we'll hear from Anni Stewart as well. But here to kick things off of hour number 2, I had an awesome conversation recently with Erynn Butzke. She's the head coach of the Spirit squads here at Nebraska. And boy, they do so much. And you've heard us talk about Molly Robinson, who's an intern for us here on the Huskers Radio Network. And they are at appearances all the time. They have also obviously cheer and are supporting at every single Husker athletic event, football, basketball, volleyball. So as we call it, crossover season for us and how busy we are, they are just as busy too. But then, they're constantly at events representing and, are just such great people and great representatives of the university. So I wanted to give a chance for our listeners to kind of hear behind the scenes of what goes into being a Scarlet or a member of the cheer team. And also, Erynn also oversees the Husker mascots too. So Herbie and Little Red as well. So let's get to this conversation now with Erynn Butzke, the head coach of Nebraska Spirit. So let's just start your background, because you were Scarlet here, right? So how you came to Nebraska in the first place to dance here?
Yeah, so I was on my high school dance team. I was terrible at basketball, and I knew that I still wanted to go to the games. So I got really interested in dance team and tried out and made it, and then really just didn't know what was next. I didn't have social media the way that we have it today, so it was just really what was in my space and what was around me. And I actually met, or I saw a black woman dancing on CBS at Nationals for Nebraska. Wow. And there was just something about her. I was like, oh my gosh, like, she looks like me. She can do this. Like, I want to be her. So I did some research, and we eventually met and became friends. And she really mentored me and kind of just showed me the ropes about what college dance team could be. And she loved being here at Nebraska. And so
that was...
Her name is Ebony Just. Okay. And we're actually still friends.
That's
We've
awesome.
worked together. Like I said, our friendship has spanned so many years. But yeah, it took seeing her on CBS Sports for me to even know that Nebraska existed outside of football. And so yeah, I came up for a campus visit and fell in love with the campus and decided that this is where I was going to go. And I actually didn't make the team as a freshman or as a sophomore, to be completely honest. That was shocking. I had always been lauded for my talent in high school, but I was committed. I really wanted to be a Scarlet. I loved what they were about. I loved their style. They were just so inspiring to me and ended up being great friends. And so I worked really, really hard and made it as a junior. And stayed on the team for my junior year, senior year, in an extra lap, and then graduated in 2003.
It's crazy how much people watch you guys on the sidelines and watch the cheerleaders and stuff, but then I didn't realize how much you guys train and practice. A lot goes in to being a Scarlet or being on the cheer team here. I mean, it's just like being an athlete.
Absolutely. So many of, especially on the dance side, so many of the dancers they started doing this when they were like 2 or 3 years old, taking classes. And so, yeah, it's something that they've devoted their lives to. I'm constantly impressed, even still, when I think about all of the things that they have to do. But yeah, they have a strength and conditioning coach. We love Coach Hayden. He's the best, so shout out to him. But they lift twice a week. We have practice 4 days a week. In addition to that practice schedule and performance schedule with the games and all of that, they also have appearances. So we're out in the community promoting Husker athletics, just connecting with people. I think that's one of my favorite parts of the job, but especially in the fall, it can be really demanding. November is the busiest month, but
crossover season.
Oh yes, everybody has it. But yeah, we're at football, men's and women's basketball, cheer is at volleyball, and then for the dancers, we're also getting into competition, and all of those things really happen towards the end of the fall semester. When we get back, competition is in January. When we get back from that, we've got men's and women's basketball, and then we start with baseball and softball. and promoting those sports and performing at those sports. And then we have auditions in April.
Yeah, and I mean, when you say appearances, I mean, there could be one every night of the week a lot of times. It's wild. I mean, always constantly helping to promote. Because not all the time can a coach go to an event, or can people from the university. So it's you get the call and you're like, hey, can you have some cheerleaders or dancers here, or can you get Herbie here, right? I mean, you're constantly getting those calls, I imagine.
It's it's neat though. We get to do the fun stuff. And so we've been we visited with our elderly fans at assisted living facilities and listening to their stories about, old Nebraska football and when they had season tickets and all of those things is really, really cool. It's fun to be able to bring a piece of memorial and a piece of the game to them, because they used to go to the games and maybe don't now. We visit with elementary students. We work with the life skills department and some of their initiatives and events. Husker Heroes in particular is one of our absolute favorites. We get to be present at Hall of Fame induction. That was a really cool thing that we got to do this year, celebrating Louise Pound and for her contributions to women's athletics here at Nebraska. Actually, a former cheerleader got to accept the award on her behalf, so that was cool to be a part of. But yeah, anytime you can't send a coach or another sport athlete, we're there.
So you had mentioned when you were Scarlet, you guys got second, you were a competition team, but the Scarlets weren't until last year. So you guys went to nationals and competed at nationals for the very first time last spring. Why did you want to get the Scarlets program back into competing at nationals and for those national titles?
Yeah, that's a great question. Our trajectory, our pro level is different than some of the other sport athletes. Once you get into the pros, it's very much team oriented. You're devoted to the sport that you're supporting, but there's really no opportunity to compete beyond the collegiate level. And as I mentioned before, so many of these dancers have been dancing since they were 2, 3. They've come up in middle school and high school competing, and I wanted these dancers to be able to have that opportunity. They're so talented, and our school has a history of being good. I mean, not patting myself on the back, but we have a history of doing well at competition and representing our university on a national stage. And quite honestly, I wouldn't be here had I not seen the Scarlets competing on TV. And it's completely changed the trajectory of my life. Obviously, I live here, I work here, I've made my home here. And I have to believe that there's somebody else out there like me that, just needs to know, just needs to see us, and will find that Nebraska is a great place to be. So I wanted our dancers to have that opportunity to really showcase their talent and, to earn that credibility outside of our borders.
So when you were looking to put together a team and tryouts and the Scarlet, I mean, you have just such great young women and men. I know more of the Scarlets and have interacted with them a little bit more because of Molly, but they're so kind and so nice and such good representatives. But obviously you have to be able to do the things that they do, dance and cheer and all of that. So when you go about trying out and putting together teams, what goes into that for you?
So I am a big believer in the Gallup-Clifton strengths themes, and one of my themes is deliberative. So I like to collect as much information about a candidate as possible before I make a decision. But yeah, it really it starts with talent. You have to have talent to get in the room. So whether it's your jazz technique or musicality for the dancers or tumbling ability, sharp motions, good vocals for cheer, you have to have the talent. And then we start diving into, who they are as people. Because even if you are the most talented in the room, if you're not a person of good character, it's never going to work. We look at this when we bring on new members of the team, I feel like that's like the most important thing that we do each year, because we're essentially making a lifetime commitment to each other. And I value authenticity, I value kindness, and like I said, good character, hardworking, and we try to look for all of those things. Not only do we assess the talent, but they go through an interview process. We try to get to their hearts, and then we look at their academics, talk to old coaches, and really just throw in a little bit of pixie dust and create magic and pick a team.
That's awesome. Well, there might be some parents or some little girls that are aspiring to be the next Scarlet or Nebraska cheerleader, and you've got some fun opportunities for some of those young cheerleaders and dancers coming up. Tell us about some of the things that you guys are working on as far as that goes, and promoting and maybe adding to the next generation of those athletes.
Yes, we are so excited. So date-wise, it depends on how well football does. We're still pulling for them and hoping to get back to the top of the Big Ten West. But sometime in December, we're going to have a skills clinic. We're going to do one for cheer and one for dance, and that is going to be for 8th grade and up, so that we're really diving into those dancers and cheerleaders that could be future members of our team. And then in February is going to be our annual youth clinic. We're excited to have that back this year, and that's for kindergarten through 6th grade. And those students, they'll get to learn a little dance with us, and then we're going to perform at halftime of a women's basketball game, and it's super fun. It's one of our...
I love those games.
Yes, it's literally one of the best games ever.
Where can people follow along, and because I know you don't have dates set, so where do they follow along and make sure they can get all that information?
So we are very active on our Instagram. The handles for cheer are at Husker Cheer Squad and then at Husker Scarlets. But we put all kinds of information and updates there generally first. And then our Nebraska Spirit Squad is where you can find us on Facebook.
Again, that was Erynn Butzke, the head coach for Nebraska Spirit, and that was just a part of our conversation. We went into a lot of other things, so you can check that out now on our YouTube channel and also on all of our podcast platforms. And while Nebraska Spirit is not a Title IX sanctioned sport, I did want to make sure and bring that to you because Erynn is just such a fantastic person and a big part of Nebraska athletics. She is so well loved, and her teams, again, do such a great job of representing and are really so involved. I mean, they were at an event last night here at the stadium, so they do so much and are involved with a lot of different things. So wanted to make sure and bring that spotlight and let you hear from Erynn Butzke. But Bank of the West is providing us the opportunity to bring some of these spotlights on our Title IX and athletes from the past, and also women that are doing big things here at Nebraska. So women-owned businesses are vital to a thriving culture of entrepreneurship, innovation, and responsible contribution to community and the planet. Bank of the West is proud to provide resources, training, and solutions to help you achieve your goals. Learn more at bankofthewest.com, member FDIC. So again, you can hear that full conversation out right now wherever you listen to your podcast or on our YouTube channel. We got to take another break here, but coming up next, we're going to hear from Sarah Weber, who is a star player on the Nebraska soccer team as they get set to host Ohio State in Big Ten tournament play. So you'll want to stick around for that. And fans, you could win a Huskers football road trip package courtesy of AAA Nebraska. Package includes 2 tickets to the Black Friday game in Iowa City, gas card, and hotel accommodations. Enter at Huskers.com/AAA road trip. Expect something more with AAA. Back with Sarah Weber up next.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Sam Pineda with Campus News. UNL has been awarded over $14 million by the U.S. Department of Commerce to expand robotics research and teaching spaces, part of a $25 million award given to the state of Nebraska to advance robotics research. The funding will allow the university to educate and train the next generation of Nebraska workers, entrepreneurs, and innovators for careers of the future.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Find your next truck at Woodhouse Buick GMC. No matter where you're heading or what tasks need tackling, there's a premium and capable GMC truck that's perfect for you. Make a statement on the job site, out on the town, or wherever life leads you in the powerful and distinctive Sierra 1500, or elevate your driving experience in the adventurous and innovative Canyon. Explore our inventory online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com or visit our indoor showroom today. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
Vanderbilt in the paint, kicks it to Lawrence. He'll shoot the three. Looks good. Got it! Free ball. Jamarcus Lawrence, another CBA three-pointer.
And a really good find off the offensive rebound, and that's what Jamarcus Lawrence can bring to this team.
Sunday, Husker Hoops is back. Women's basketball takes the airways at 12:45 with Jeff Griesch and Matt Coatney. Pre-game coverage for the men's basketball team starts with Kent Pavelka and Jake Milheisen at 4 p.m. as they play Colorado. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Your Nebraska soccer team is hosting the quarterfinals of the Big Ten tournament this Sunday, October 30th. The Huskers welcome the Ohio State Buckeyes to Lincoln for the biggest game of the season. Go to Huskers.com/tickets now. Plus, hot dogs and popcorn are both only $2 for Sunday's game only. Bring the whole family and cheer on your Huskers as they contend for the Big Ten title. Save money by getting your tickets online at Huskers.com/tickets rather than at the ticket window. See you at Hibner Stadium this Sunday at noon.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska exists to be there with you. They are rooting for the schools and teachers who make our communities great. That's why Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska is proud to sponsor Touchdowns for Teachers and ask Husker fans to nominate outstanding educators who help Nebraska students reach their potential. If there's a teacher you want to recognize for the impact they've made in your community, find a nomination form at Huskers.com/Touchdowns for Teachers.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Rob Seco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Rob Seco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI.
Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
To win the game, you got to have more strength. You got to be tougher. You got to be reliable. You got to want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. As we welcome you back to Sports Nightly, I'm Jessica Coody, and the college soccer postseason has arrived, and your Nebraska Huskers have not only punched a ticket into the Big Ten tournament, but they are hosting Ohio State coming up on Sunday at noon. And to talk a little bit more about that, we welcome in Sarah Weber, and a member of the All Big Ten, All Conference team. Congratulations on that, first of all.
Thank you very much.
This conference awards just coming out this week. I know you've had a big season. Sophomore from right here in Nebraska, Gretna. So how excited are you guys and for this team to be able to host on Sunday?
Oh my gosh, we are absolutely so pumped. If you would have told us at the beginning of the year that we'd be ranked for hosting at home, we'd be like, you know what, that sounds like a pretty good season, especially when we were like ranked to be like 12th at the beginning of the season, I think. So
what's gone into that then? What has worked for you guys? What has clicked to enable you guys to be able to host?
Yeah, I mean, obviously along the way there have been a couple rough patches, but we found the most success, like having a really kind of tight zone. Transition to attack has been really good, and then just really capitalizing on some set plays have kind of punched us to like a little ticket. So.
And what's this week been like? How have you guys prepared for the big one on Sunday?
Like I just told you, like our coach has been really smart in terms of like recognizing like our bodies, like the physical side of it. So we've had a couple off days, and then we kind of hit training really hard these last 2 days. Had a lot of film to watch just about like their last couple games, and then we were also able to break down the film from when we played them like October 8th. So, yeah.
And it just mentioned All Big Ten for you, just as a sophomore, 9 goals. I think the leaders have 10, so you're right there among the leading goal scorers in the conference. What's gone into your season and how you've been able to contribute so much this year?
I mean, there was a lot of focus in the offseason from freshman year, just like focusing on like fine-tuning some of my technical stuff and like individual defend, for example. But this season has been very rewarding. We have a really good group of girls, and we're really an energy-based team, so I was just doing my best to help out the team.
How has it been for you being a Nebraska kid, growing up in Gretna and playing for your home state school?
Oh my gosh, it has been so, so, so cool. I think the coolest thing, I'm sure any of my teammates can also testify to this, is like when we're playing a game and there's some other teams like of little girls that come out and watch. I think that is the coolest thing, because that was me growing up.
Wow, did you always want to play soccer here?
Actually, my mom went to Creighton.
Okay.
So we grew up watching a lot of the Creighton games. But as I got older, I really wanted to come here.
Always soccer, though?
Always soccer. Did play tennis there for a little bit, but soccer's where my heart is for sure.
So you just talked about you were that little girl that was, going to these games and looking up to. So when that offer came in for you to play at Nebraska, what was that like for you and your family?
Oh my gosh, so rewarding. Just like all the time and effort that we had put into, going to individual lessons, practices, traveling for tournaments. It definitely is a lot of work, both physically and mentally. So to get the opportunity to play here was really, really rewarding.
How special is it, too, to know that every time you have a home game, you've got lots and lots of people up there in the stands?
Oh, my gosh. This support is so real, and it's so special when, like, I can have my whole family there watching me, and, like, my brothers will come down and watch. So, yeah, it's motivating for sure, too.
How did you get into soccer in the first place?
I went to my mom one day and I was like, I want to play soccer. And she was my micro coach growing up for the first couple years, and I just really fell in love.
Wow. So when did you think, okay, this could be something that I could chase dreams and go and be a Husker and be that being from that little girl and being out there on that field?
Yeah. Well, like the recruiting process for soccer starts really, really early. Like I think 7th or 8th grade, we had our first like college ID camp. So the coaches will come out and kind of lead a session. And I was like, wow, this is like really, really cool. Like these are like college coaches. And then from there, like I knew I wanted to play college soccer growing up, and then to actually have the opportunity is awesome.
So was there any doubt that if Nebraska came in and made an offer that you were not going to come here?
That's tricky. That's tricky because, I mean, recruiting, like, colleges, there's so many things that go into it. And at the time, I was like, well, I don't know what I want to study. Like those things play a role. But when it came down to it, I was like, Nebraska had everything I want just down the road. So, yeah, it was definitely the best fit for me.
So what are you studying then?
Nutrition science.
Oh, cool.
Yep. I'm minoring in business and chem, and then I think I want to go to dental school after.
Oh,
So,
wow. That's impressive.
yeah.
So, and then you came in right away as a freshman and made the all Big Ten freshman team and made an impact last year. So what went into that, and how was this team accepting of you to be able to come in right away as a freshman? Because sometimes that can be a hard adjustment.
I mean, it was definitely tricky. It was super competitive because I think we graduated like 15 seniors, redshirt seniors. So yeah, it was definitely competitive. I think the biggest switch is like the physical aspect of the game from high school to college. It's like none other. But then also like what Coach Walker was demanding of us, like tactically, is something that I never experienced before. So it was kind of trying to figure out that while also just like trying my very hardest every day at practice, and turned out pretty well, I guess.
Visiting with Sarah Weber of Nebraska soccer as they get set to host Ohio State coming up on Sunday. So when did this team start talking about postseason and postseason goals? Was that something that you went into the season with, hey, let's get back to the Big Ten tournament and then potentially the NCAA tournament? How did that evolve for you guys?
Yeah, obviously we had something to prove from last year, not making the Big Ten tournament. So making the Big Ten tournament, winning the Big Ten tournament, like those were goals that we set at the beginning of the year. And also to make the NCAA, which is postseason. So going along, we kind of had a rough game against St. Louis. And it was nice because it was kind of like a wake-up call. Like if we don't start playing together and start, listening to like the little details that Coach Walker has for us, like we're not going to make it post. So it was a nice like coming together moment for us for sure. And then I think we tied NC State and USC after, and it was like those are top-notch teams, and just to see that we can like get even just a tie result against them, it shows that like we have a ton of potential, and that's when we really started to capitalize.
So being that you guys weren't in the postseason a year ago, how are you approaching that with some players that this is their first go at it, and it's potentially one and you're done from here on out?
Yeah. I mean, the way our coach is kind of talking about it is like not to overly hype it, because obviously nerves and stress like plays a big role. So kind of going to this game like any other game, the mindset of just to play our game and to capitalize on our chances and do everything we can to be successful. I mean, that's where we found the most success throughout the whole season anyway.
Right. Well, Ohio State, you guys just played them back on October 6th, so not too long ago, tied here at home. What did you take away from that game that you can apply to this one?
Obviously, they have some really dangerous weapons up top. The wingers especially. They're just very quick, technical, and they capitalize on their chances. So being able to shut that down is going to be really important. And then we found success like in a mid-zone type of a block. And when we get them into channels that we want them to, like we're capitalizing, like we're finishing the plays. And then obviously our transition to attack going off of that and just, capitalize on every opportunity we get, because when you play against a good team, like they don't come along very often.
Right. So how much confidence are you guys? Because you've played some really good soccer down the stretch. So how much confidence does this team have going into this one on Sunday?
I think we're going into the game Sunday with more of like a quiet confidence. A lot of the games this year, we are considered the underdogs.
Right.
And looking at last season, like that's just what people thought of us. So we've kind of thrived in that role. So not going into this is like, okay, we're the 4 seed, they're the 5 seed, but we're 2 really good teams. And like we've played some really good soccer this year, but so have they. So it's like just focusing on being on our A game.
So if fans are going to come out, what should they be looking for that you guys are going to be trying to do to win this one? What are the keys?
Tons of tackles. So like individual defend, individual attack. You'll probably see a good amount of physicality throughout the game. So, I mean, what's important for the fans is like just keep supplying that energy to us, because like we can feel it.
Right.
And that just gives us like just a little extra boost.
Yeah, and we've heard the last couple of home games were pretty loud. The fans rolled out for you guys to support. So how much does that mean to you guys to have a lot of fan support coming out on Sunday?
Oh my gosh, we would highly appreciate it. It's so cool to play in like that type of environment. Like that is literally any athlete's dream, to play in just this big of a game, have a huge crowd. Like that's where we're gonna thrive. So.
And I know there's lots of promotions. We've got $2 hot dogs, $2 pops, $2 popcorns. If you're a student listening in, they're going to give away some free tickets to students. So, I mean, what beats soccer on a Sunday afternoon with $2 hot dogs and pop?
Exactly. If the soccer can't get you there, the food better.
Well, Sarah Weber, appreciate your time. Best of luck. Can't wait. I'll be out there, coming out there to support, and hope you guys get that win on Sunday over Ohio State and advance in the Big Ten tournament.
Yes, thank you very much.
All right, again, that is Sarah Weber with Nebraska Soccer, noon on Sunday out at Hibner Stadium. All right, going to work in a break here on Sports Nightly, but keep it right here. More of the show coming up next. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Look, honey, it's a falling star. Let's make a holiday wish.
No, that's a satellite.
Oh, there's another.
Nope, airplane.
So what are we supposed to wish on?
Let's enter non-winning Nebraska Lottery Holiday Wishes 2X, 10X, or 20X scratch tickets for a chance to win $1, $5, or $10,000. It's the Holiday Wishes second chance promotion.
Now the one over there has to be a falling star.
Yeah, sorry, bottle rocket fired off by the college kid next door.
Promotion ends January 4th, 2023. Top prize odds vary by game.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
While some seed companies put a greater stake in stock prices and anonymous shareholders, Rob Seco knows that what's important to you hits closer to home. That's why you'll find we're focused on your needs. With a simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, a relationship that makes it easy to connect with anyone in the company, and the technology, traits, and genetics you need from any source. Put your stock in the company that puts you first. Rob Seco.
Every day, Central Valley Ag works with ranchers to make sure they have the right protein mix to help their herd gain maximum weight during winter. No other feed supplement helps your cattle gain weight like Central Valley Ag's Advantage Range Cubes with 23% protein. For a limited time, lock in quantity and price discount and register to win 10 bags of CVA Advantage Range Cubes when you go online to cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Sid Dillon Chevrolet, we help you find vehicles designed with purpose and function, prioritizing safety, technology, and the dependability you need. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo to shop in-stock and inbound inventory or to order your new vehicle. And as your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so cold. The furnace is out again. SOS, he screams, and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying. and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear gas prices, go take a hike. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. The Toyota hybrid lineup brings efficiency with power, savings with style, and top-notch tech to keep you connected. Not to mention plush premium interiors and the most advanced Toyota safety features. So, now you know who you're talking to. Toyota, the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years. Toyota, the brand with a hybrid or electric vehicle for every driver. Toyota, the brand that helps save you money at the pump. Now, let me ask you a question, dear gas prices. You really think you can stand in the way of the #1 retail brand for electrified vehicles for 22 years? Think again. Toyota Hybrids. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Based on manufacturer estimates, CY 2000 through 2021 sales.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Back with a couple of segments here of Sports Nightly on this Friday evening, and Friday leading into a busy Husker sports weekend. We've talked a lot about a lot of the sports, but how about women's basketball? Fresh off the NCAA tournament appearance, they've got almost everybody back, and they will hit the court for the first time inside PBA on Sunday, 1 o'clock in exhibition action against Washburn. Recently, I had a chance to sit down with Anni Stewart to preview the season and again get to know Anni a little bit better, but leading into the season opener or the exhibition opener against Washburn. How did you feel coming off the, getting to the postseason and getting a taste of that, and then coming apart and being part of a team that has so many people that was a part of that, and then going into summer and now preseason? How did that fuel this team?
It fueled it a lot. I think last season we got just a little bit of a taste, and I think we're just hungrier than ever this season. Last season, it's in the back of our mind, but it's a whole new season.
And then just you personally, how have you felt going into this year? I mean, we've seen, your role continue to grow, but what's been your goal personally as you go into this season?
Yeah, I think just becoming more of an upperclassman. I want to be more of a leadership role. I just want to do what I can for my teammates, try to teach the young ones what I can, and just keep everyone together, keep them close.
Well, one thing about you, the Husker fans know, when it goes up, a lot of times it's going in. You are a threat from the outside. How did that part of your game, how did that become such a big part of your game?
I don't
Especially
know.
as a tall person.
I know. I think I just like being different. I guess not a lot of tall people are outside, but I guess I just shot it and it went in, so I was like, oh, this is kind of fun.
But was that from a young age?
Yeah, I don't know. I've always just...
You've always shot the ball.
Loved to shoot it.
How big of a weapon is that? I mean, not just you, but, you look at, Alexis Markowski and Izzy Bourne. You guys have some tall players that can step out and shoot. And how much of a matchup problem does that create for teams?
Yeah, all of our bigs are really good shooters, so it's really nice. Like, it's a big threat. When you're on the perimeter and they're backing off you, it's hard to even pass the ball, into the post. So if you're a threat from outside, they have to come and guard you. And it just makes our offense flow a lot easier.
You always seem to have a smile on your face. So how much do you enjoy kind of just being here at Nebraska and being part of this team and what you can bring to this team?
Yeah, I love it. Like, it is seriously, the feeling is indescribable. These girls, like, we are so close, and like, it's hard not to have a good time with each other. We're always playing for each other, and we're always making jokes. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. You guys have had a couple of viral videos that have been like so goofy, but that's really how you guys are all the time, even when the camera's not on you, right?
Yes, all the time. Like, I'm not one to be on TikTok, but I don't know. There's always something going on in the locker room. It's so fun.
Who is the, biggest, I guess, TikTok star that would have most likely go viral on TikTok?
Ooh, Allison's had a few viral ones, but I don't know. She's funny. Like, she can dance. You saw her maybe on the Waka Flocka stage. Like, she can dance, so a lot of them.
And then, just this team and that chemistry, how important has that been to what you guys have done? Because it couldn't be competitive. You guys have a lot of talent, a lot of players that are competing, but how do you balance the competing and also that chemistry and being a close-knit team?
Yeah, I don't think we'd be where we are without our chemistry. I think that's really one of our main attributes, and just like the way we love on each other, like we love each other and we're competing for each other, and that makes us better each day.
Why do you think that is with this team? Because, and again, that full conversation with Anni Stewart out now on our podcast platforms, wherever you listen, and on our YouTube channel. So again, 1 o'clock Washburn inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. All right, going to work in our final break here on Sports Nightly. But if the Huskers return the first or second half opening kick for a touchdown, you could win a $54,000 credit on a new vehicle from any Woodhouse Auto Family dealership this season. Rick Riebel of Lincoln is this week's lucky contestant. Go to Huskers.com/Woodhouse for official rules and how to enter. We're back to wrap up the show right after this.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
The name on the mailbox may say Smith, Myers, Baumgartner, or Johnson, but when you choose to plant with Robseco, it includes your name too, making you a stockholder in a company that's invested in you. With the simplicity that makes us easy to do business with, relationships that bring more to the table, the technology, traits, and genetics that take on local conditions, and people with the know-how to use it. At Robseco, the only stockholder we listen to is you.
To win the game, you gotta have more strength. You gotta be tougher. You gotta be reliable. You gotta want it more than the other guy. And you need a great team you can count on, backing you up the whole time. Whether it's in the field with your Massey Ferguson or on the field with the Huskers, red is the color of getting it done quicker, smarter, and efficiently. So this season, make sure you're checking out the lineup that'll get more done where and when it counts. From your Nebraska Massey Ferguson dealers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Shop Woodhouse Buick GMC first for your next SUV and experience the difference. We offer a full lineup of SUVs so you can find the one that best suits you and your lifestyle. The GMC Terrain and Acadia offer the perfect blend of tech and safety on the road. Or discover the style, comfort, and cargo space of the Buick Enclave. Plus, we make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Back for our final segment here of Sports Nightly on this Friday night. I'm Jessica Coody and wanted to make sure and make note of this. So if you're planning on coming to the football game or the volleyball game, there's some construction, or not construction, but some road work going on that will affect traffic tomorrow for both football and volleyball. And it is the north portion, the portion of North Antelope Valley Parkway, and football and volleyball traffic will be affected. So there was maybe a fire that damaged the bridge, and so they're inspecting it. It's down to 2 lanes. So here are some priority routes for you. I-80, Highway 77 from the west, take exit 397. Follow Highway 77 south, take the Rosa Parks Way exit east, and follow South 10th Street into downtown. Highway 77 from the south, take the Rosa Parks exit east and follow South 10th Street into downtown. I-80 Cornhusker Highway from the east, take exit 409. Follow Cornhusker Highway and turn south on State Fair Park Drive and continue west on Salt Creek Roadway. But anyways, there's a lot of different ways that you can get around, but just want to make sure that you make note of that if you're planning on coming to the football or volleyball games, because that is down to 2 lanes right there in front of Devaney. And I actually drove past it here on my way here from my apartment. And yeah, it's going to be a problem tomorrow if you try to get down there that way. It will back things up. But we got a couple minutes here left of the show. Quickly, Tim, about a minute. Who's your winner and loser of the week?
Winner of the week is Colorado offensive lineman Tommy Brown. He signed an NIL deal to be an underwear model. And so if you go on Twitter and you search Colorado Tommy Brown or Tommy Brown Colorado, it's hilarious. I love how he approached this. He didn't take it that serious. He took it seriously enough to get the deal, but it's the way they did it was really funny. So props to him. I've seen NFL linemen talk about it. I've seen retired NFL linemen joking about it. So he's getting blown up on Twitter there the right way. And then loser, Kanye West, or the artist formerly known as Kanye West, for the horrible things he said the last couple of weeks. But from a sports side of it, he lost $1.5 billion in one day because Adidas dropped him, and then also because he had his academy for young basketball players shut down, which had legitimate recruits. And even if they were not D1 recruits, it's just sad to see that those players now don't have a place to learn their skill.
Yeah, really is. Okay, so quickly, mine are my losers. Tom Brady lost last night and officially filed for divorce today. Giselle did, so tough week for Tom Brady. I think this is the first time he's been 2 games under 500 since he was playing at Michigan in 1998. And my winner are all the folks that are putting together these spirit costumes that are blowing up my Twitter feed. Parker created one of Mickey Joseph, and it is hilarious. It was sold separately as like Swagger, where is it? Swagger, Energy, and a Get Back Coach. So all those sold separately. There's one of Lincoln Riley that was floating around that said sold separately, or comes with SEC fear, lack of commitment, license to tamper. So yeah, good stuff going around as people create Halloween costumes going into this Halloween weekend. So speaking of that, have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy the game. And our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Have a great weekend.
413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey, Huskers fans. Tomorrow, Nebraska football takes on Illinois. Huskers game day is live at 10:30 a.m. with Ben McLaughlin and Damon Benning. At 12:30, Greg Sharpe hosts Countdown to Kickoff, followed by the Mickey Joseph pregame show. At 2:30 kickoff, Greg, Damon, and Jessica Coody bring you every angle of every play as the Huskers battle the Fighting Illini. After the game, Bill Dolman and Damon host the 5th quarter show. Then Greg will talk to Mickey Joseph, and Jessica will speak with Huskers players before Matt Coatney and Jay Foreman talk to you on Big Red Reaction. Tune into your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Look, honey, it's a falling star. Let's make a holiday wish.
No, that's a satellite.
Oh, there's another.
No, airplane.
So what are we supposed to wish on?
Let's enter non-winning Nebraska Lottery Holiday Wishes 2X, 10X, or 20X scratch tickets for a chance to win $1,000, $5,000, or $10,000. It's the Holiday Wishes Second Chance promotion.
Now the one over there has to be a falling star.
Yeah, sorry, bottle rocket fired off by the college kid next door.
Promotion ends January 4th, 2023. Top prize odds vary by game.
Every day, Central Valley Ag works with ranchers to make sure they have the right protein mix to help their herd gain maximum weight during winter. No other feed supplement helps your cattle gain weight like Central Valley Ag's Advantage Range Cubes with 23% protein. For a limited time, lock in quantity and price discount and register to win 10 bags of CVA Advantage Range Cubes when you go online to cvacoop.com. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best